Hello, my name is Helen. I'll be bringing to you Psalm 65 today. Psalm 65 is a psalm of David. It's a psalm of 13 verses of uninterrupted praise for God's faithfulness and provision. God is identified here as the one who answers prayer and forgives transgressions even when they're overwhelming. In verse 4, we are told that to live in God's presence is to experience blessedness and goodness. God's presence in the psalm is then really broadened in verse 5, which then turns briefly to God's powerful acts of deliverance and moves to the ends of the earth and the farthest seas. God is the hope, not only of the ends of the earth, but also the farthest seas. For me, the unifying force throughout Psalm 65 is the abundantly expressive language. The descriptions of the earth in verses 7 and 8 are almost imaginary. God pacifies dangerous features of nature, and the rest of nature then comes to life with joyful exuberance. This, in combination with God's dealings with us, which was described at the beginning of the psalm, gives us an overwhelming sense of the life-giving presence of God. The dealings of God to us, expressed in these verses, are gracious and merciful. It portrays a world alive with the bounty and glory of God, an absolute joyful creation, along with people provided for, at peace, and praising God. He is the Redeemer in verses 1 to 4, the Creator in verses 5 to 8, and the Provider in verses 9 to 13. Psalm 65 is a real reminder to us of the sustaining power of God and how we must delight ourselves in Him. He will give us the desires of our hearts. So whatever it is you're doing at this moment, I invite you to pause and spend a few moments with Psalm 65. And I hope that you, like me, amidst these extraordinary times, find this uninterrupted praise of God's faithfulness and provision restorative, that it adds perspective. I leave you with verse 8. The whole earth is filled with awe at your wonders. Where morning dawns, where evening fades, you call forth songs of joy. Have a lovely day.